Welcome to the second video for 2014. This one is just a brief introduction to the assignments, so I won't waste too much of your time. I'll just quickly tell you what to expect for the assessment items. Remember our service level agreement, so if you have a question, post it onto the Q&A forum and I will respond to that. My aim is 24 hours. And obviously if you need some help over a weekend, just send me a text and I'll see if I can get some help out to you. Alright, so let's look at the assessment items. This year we only have 6 of these assessment items. So briefly, there's going to be 3 of them that's really easy, 1 that's a little bit more difficult, then there's an online quiz, and then there's 1 that's really difficult, and we'll talk about these briefly just now. So there's no reason for you guys to wait for the due dates for these assessment items. Assessment number 1, 3 and 4 you can finish in the first day of reading this. Alright, so there's no reason for you to wait. You might want to take a little bit longer with them, read the question, think about it, come up with a good answer and then post it. But let's have a quick look at them. So as I said, A1, 3 and 4, those are short forum related type questions. Each of them count about 5%. So it's really short and punchy. 400 words to the max. Don't exceed that because I actually have to read it, and I read very slowly, so sometimes it's a little bit of a problem. But try and get that within that limit. All right. So keeping it in the limit also shows that you've got clear ideas of what you're going to articulate. So very, very important. No attachments to these, and you only have to reference when it's absolutely necessary. I'm not going to mark you down for referencing on this one at all, so try and get your personal opinion out there. That's very important. Now for these, I will only give limited feedback, so not a lot of stuff will be fed back to you. I'll say a few words, maybe this is good, this is bad, this is what I expected, you completely missed the point, or gee, I didn't think of this, this is actually really nice. So for these, the feedback will be online and it will be on the forum as well. So you won't receive a separate feedback sheet like with the other assessments that I do with you guys. Assessment number 2, this is a much shorter version of the assessments that I used to run for this course. We used to run about 5 or 6 different questions. I've decided this year that I'm going to trim them down only to 2. The first question looks at the industry, right? So the different types of construction companies, the management structures that they have, and the second part of the question is to basically go out, do a little bit of research into the industry and see what kind of positions are available that you can apply for, and then do a short report on that. So the reason we're doing this is so that while you are doing something at university, you also test the market. You're going to see what's available there. You're going to be able to pitch yourself for your next position. Alright, so it gives you an idea of, yeah, this is a good position that I'm currently in, or no, there's a lot of other positions that I can apply for that I think I should apply for. So this one, make sure that you do that report really well. I will evaluate it quite strictly, so make sure that you've got everything in there. Question number 2 deals with the procurement strategies. Different types of contracts for different types of scenarios. So there's 4 of those scenarios that I've given you, and for each of those scenarios you have to answer 2 questions. So why are you choosing that scenario, or why are you choosing that strategy for this scenario, and what happens in case of a force majeure or some kind of other claim. Right, so look at those. It's a little bit more intricate. Use lots of diagrams, organizational structures, logical thinking. Do a little bit of research. Maybe think about outside of the box. Don't just give the standard building law and regulations type answer for this one. All right. So make sure that you've incorporated some thinking. This is the big one, A5. This is a team presentation. This counts for 40% of your annual mark. And it is going to be a business plan presentation and submission. Right, so you can either choose to create your own new business, or you can buy a second-hand business and fix it up. Choice is yours, and you are going to present your business plan to a panel of external experts. Now these guys are from industry. We used them last year as well. We had quite a lot of fun, and they really pulled the teams apart, all right, more so than I expected initially, but they really did go out all out on the teams that did not prepare well. So make sure that you've got your financials right, you've got your execution strategy in line, make sure that you've got every box ticked before you go for the presentation. So this one is compulsory to attend on the 3rd of Feb 2015, so you have to be there for all of the presentations because we need the peer review cycle to be complete. So make sure that you've got that evening open in your diary. It's about 4 months away, so make sure that you schedule around that date to make sure that you can attend. Question or assessment number 6 is an online quiz. Right, so open book. It runs for about 3 hours, and there's 150 questions, and each of the questions come out of the textbook. Right, so you can this online quiz is available from day one, and it stops on the 6th of Feb. So make sure that you complete it before the 6th of Feb. But nothing stops you from starting this quiz or doing this quiz before, let's say, the Christmas holidays. All right. So my advice would be to go through the study guide, and I've highlighted all of the readings for Kersner that you need for this test. So go through that. Make sure that you have a good understanding of it. Maybe put in a few little tags throughout your textbook. Don't attempt this quiz without the textbook. And remember, it counts for 15% of your mark. To pass this course, you have to submit all of the assessment items. All right, so if you miss one and you don't pass, that's why. And you also have to get at least 50% as a cumulative result overall. All right, the only other compulsory item is, of course, the attendance on the 3rd of Feb 2015. So other things that might help you get along this course very easily is regularly asking questions in the Q&A forum. So if you get stuck, just put them up there. I'll try and respond to that as soon as I can. And then, of course, regularly attend those online sessions that we have every Monday night. All right, so it gets very monotonous if you only have to listen, or if I only have to listen to myself. But if you guys ask questions, it's a lot more interesting in terms of course development and retaining information. Alright, so I think that's everything that I wanted to say. Yep, there we go, that's the last slide. So if you guys do have any questions, please do post them to the Q&A forum, and I'll attend to those as soon as I can. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you guys in term 3 2014.